If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart.
Welcome to Break the Mold Conversations. This is the Office Pod. Give us a follow on IG at Tattooed and Successful Co. Okay, so this is the Office Pod done a little differently with me hosting it instead of one of you guys. So today we got Jamie, Kinzie, and Mac here with me today. Kind of excited to have you all on here because you have very different paths of being a part of the brand. So I think your stories are very, very different. So it'll be cool to get your guys' perspective. But before we start, let's all plug socials. So Jamie, what's your IG?
Dope_trippy life.
Kinzie?
Okay, Kinzie.
Okay. Mac?
I'll just spell it because
Yeah.
MACCXOXXO.
That's not complicated.
No, not at all.
Have you tried to change it to Mac Life?
No, I don't want to.
Why?
I don't know.
I think your bio should just say
Mac life.
it's all about, and then like ... next line, Mac Life.
Probably.
Or the life is the Mac.
Yeah.
This is Mac Life.
Yeah, something like that.
Or the return of the Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. Anyways, so we'll start from the newest instead of the oldest in terms of relationship with the brand. So Kinzie, you've been working here now for 2 months.
Mhm. Yeah.
And now you work over next door at Empire as well.
Yep.
Kind of talk about like did you see the brand before we talked to you?
I feel like I had seen it like when you guys first started up, like
Okay.
because some of like your really like your older pieces
Uh-huh.
are familiar to me.
Okay. So talk about a little bit about like our approach, like how we approached you and then kind of what the brand's kind of been in your life and maybe Carlos's life to some extent, and then getting to be a part of this. We call it our family, but getting to be a part of like an event now that you've been a part of. We got a month. When this podcast airs, we'll be 5 days out from our next event.
Yeah.
So you'll be a part of that, which will be really cool. So kind of talk about what that's been for you in joining the brand and being a part of something that's a little bit different than the normal brand, I would say.
Yeah. So I actually found TS through Empire first. I had signed up with Carlos over there. And like on our first day that we were working out, Ren actually approached me while I was working out. And she said, hey, the shop right next door, Tattooed and Successful, like I'm one of the promotional people and we want to see if you'd be interested in shooting some of our content with us. And so that's kind of how I got connected. And then I ended up seeing a post through you guys that you were hiring for like your front desk.
Yeah.
And like I immediately hopped on it because it's just like everybody over at Empire is amazing.
Yeah.
And so I knew that the culture had to be just great here too.
Yeah.
And then that's when I met you and Mac, and it's just all kind of exploded from there. And like, I feel like since being with TS, like I'm originally from Boise, but I just moved back from Seattle.
Yeah.
And I already knew, quite a few people in the Boise area. But since like working with you guys, I have met so many people like outside of like just where we work, like outside when I'm wearing like our product and stuff like that. And same with Carlos, like, he's starting up his own business and he's been able to make tons of connections through it.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge community base out here in the Boise area. And I just think it's amazing. It's super neat.
I think that's one of the coolest things about the brand. That's something I was talking to Dusty about before. It's just if the brand or the gym can be a part of like some positive influence in your life, that's the goal. And like keeping our eyes set on that and trying to make as many positive impacts in people's life professionally and personally is the main goal of the two businesses. So when that happens and then it happens for an employee like you are now, it's cool to like hear that come full circle.
Yeah. I'm really thankful for it. I feel like everybody I've met through it, it's just been amazing. I'm really thankful to be where I'm at. I've never like enjoyed a job so much before.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. How's been shooting with us? Because I think it's a little different than like most places. A lot of places, and this is just from friends going and doing shoots, but a lot of places like they supply you the apparel, gear, merchandise, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You shoot and then you give that back and you leave and you may or may not see some of your content. Hopefully you get to reshare it, etc.
Yeah.
Whereas we do things a little bit differently, bringing you in. We try to have some sort of event where we can get together and hang out. We give you a fair amount of apparel to try to give you like a core package so you have like some everyday wear.
Yeah.
And then you do get to take home what you shoot. Have you shot with any other brands or what has that experience been like getting just that kind of treatment at a show or shoot? shit
mean,
shoot?
I don't know that I'd necessarily say I've shot with other brands, so this would be like my first time like really doing that, but it is great because you're in such a for me, I'd say I'm in such a supportive environment whereas like normally that would be nerve-wracking for
Yeah.
me. I have a fun time doing it.
Yeah.
Especially with Chandler because he likes to mess around the entire time and
Chan
do the poses himself. Yeah, and he's great at it.
He is. He's so talented.
Yeah, I agree. So it's just I don't know. Like I said, it's just a really welcoming environment. And it's like everything we do is enjoyable. And like when we do it like as a team, it's just fun.
Yeah. And the team's kind of, I think it's been interesting for you because while you've been here, the team has changed drastically.
Yeah.
Like you're here for the change period, kind of. And this happens with every company in some sort of level.
Yeah.
People grow in and grow out of a company, and it's just natural progression. And that's super normal and super okay. And that's part of the point is that we need to support people on that kind of next journey.
Yeah.
And make sure that that's communicated. But it's cool that you've been a part of that. So what's it like being in an office with the constant change? That's got to be different for somebody that's new to an office environment, and then you kind of come in midday, so you're in the middle of like the heat change. I feel like it's like hopping into the middle of a game or some shit like that. I know like that's comparing it to sports, so now Mac hates that reference. You get it, but it'd be like showing up in the middle of it like halftime and being like, okay, like I'm here.
I feel like definitely it's like anywhere you go, it's like an adjustment period because you're learning people's personalities.
Yeah, I feel bad sometimes because I swear to God, like we have like a bad morning and then you roll in and I'm like, fuck, Kinzie just walked into like an absolute shit show.
So you gotta pick up like the vibe of what's going on and just like bring whatever energy is like needed. But I feel like everybody here is like super approachable because, you know, I started and I feel like everybody already had like really close connections here, which is like amazing because you don't see that at like typical workplaces. So everybody was really close. And then me coming in being so new, it's just like you're kind of trying to understand what the culture is within, you know, TS. And, you know, everybody's so welcoming and just like very upfront with who they are and how they like things and what they agree with and disagree with. So I feel like it's been a really easy environment to integrate myself into because it's not, nobody's like closed off here, which I really like.
Good.
So I think the changes are easier because they're like expected. We want people to succeed. We want people to grow and you guys support it. So it's been a really easy transition for me. Whereas like previous positions I've had, it's really hard because people are standoffish.
Yeah. Well, I can say this for myself and for others. It's been good having you here and for Empire. So thank you. And we've been stoked to have you a part of Empire and TS. Good. Mac,
Yes.
you're the second newest at the table. You came to us through a direct photo shoot kind of roundabout way from a friend of a friend. And your path has kind of evolved through the company from model to then you were doing warehouse type of stuff at the warehouse house. And then when we got here, you took over like operations, became more of my assistant. And now you're transitioning into another new role at the end of this month. So kind of like maybe if you can go through what some of those, that's a long period, but like what's some of the like the coolest parts you think that you've had in that period of time? From model to like then being in the office and being a part of it?
I think just being a part of everything and getting to experience all of it and just seeing my own growth in all those different sections.
Yeah. But what about like, what do you think was your favorite part modeling? Do you miss the just being a model? Do you miss like just the warehouse? I miss the simple times. Sometimes. I know we talk about this.
The simple times for sure.
Yeah, when there was
just
like
being a model, not having to worry about anything.
Yeah. It's fun to see it go, but it's also like, it is fun to reflect back and be like,
Oh,
it was kind of nice when there was like, not that we don't love everybody we have now, but it was nice when there was like 3 people and it was very simplistic.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
But it's just also insane how much it's grown too.
Yeah, and I think you've seen that from like the event standpoint too. Like we used to, like our first event that we ever went to was in 2018, and we went to a tattoo convention downtown, and none of you were a part of that except for you. Had you even shot that?
No.
You hadn't even shot yet, had you?
No.
Shit.
You guys already did that before.
Yeah, so that's crazy. So none of you were a part of it. So like to go from that to then shooting with the build, like I think you two kind of had a cool perspective because you guys got to see the whole progress of the building being built and going from, you know, you came over to grab clothes from my house and up in my loft and then going to do shoots and changing in the back of the excursion. And then getting to where we were doing more routine launches, more photos, more content, and then getting into the house after the office. Like it was kind of a weird transition period
Yeah.
in terms of like you've been at 4 different offices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like a crazy, what's the word you just said? Transition like the whole time,
Yeah.
like just constantly.
Well, I
over
feel like
and
it
over
was,
and over.
yeah. And it's always been like on some sort of, it would, the main trajectory used to be this building. And I feel like that took so long that once we were in here, it was like not a letdown, but like a weird, like accomplishment
Yes.
because it was for so long and it got delayed so many times.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah. You probably get that.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Like took forever.
It was this month, and then it was this
Yeah.
month, and
Yeah.
then it was this month.
like a year. literally.
Yeah.
Like I think we talked about this. What the grand opening was October. Like you talked about this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
It was like
Before
16,
that.
it was like 16 months late.
yeah.
It's not that long.
It was, yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very thankful that we were able to move into that house though and work in there. You don't know this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So we worked out of a house for a hot minute. It's actually one door down from my house.
Oh my gosh.
It's where my sister lives now. But we had a 3-car garage with an RV bay. So that was our warehouse.
Uh-huh.
The kitchen was like the meeting area. 2 of the bedrooms were offices. And then we had 2 desks in the kitchen
Oh
as
my
well.
God, I didn't realize this started in a house. That's insane.
Well, before that, it started in my loft. Before that, it started in like 3 totes
Yeah.
It's just
and then some
insane
suitcases.
to see the evolution of it.
Yeah.
It was some suitcases.
Then you got totes.
And we got the black and yellow
Then
totes. Yeah. So Jamie, you've been with us damn near since the beginning, one of the original models. Give people like a little I know you did on the original podcast, but give people like a little synopsis of like your history with the brand.
You know what's crazy is like hearing your perspective, hearing Max, then you feeding in like we're just literally talking about change right now.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
change. And
It's
that's been-
constant.
it's
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
like the last year for me just been change, like change after change. So like what's crazy is 2018, I remember when he reached out to me to come do the first photo shoot. And then it was like at some point I was doing a photo shoot with these guys with Zach like every month. Like we were doing shoot after shoot after shoot. And to now to like where I don't even have to like I can shoot every 3-4 months. It's actually kind of nice because I used to take the photo shoots very seriously. I always had,
Yeah.
like, a
No, you
brand new pair of
did.
shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I always had to like
Yeah.
have a haircut. I had
You always were fitted.
like
Always.
always.
Jamie has like 5 pairs of shoes every single
Yeah.
time.
like every
Both,
time.
I remember both of us showing up with like
With
the duffels full
big
of
Yep.
duffel
shoes.
bags of shoes. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. And it
Those
was
are
kind of
good
like,
times.
but that's the good thing about like him as being us building our relationship together. It was just always genuine. Like anything he asked me to do, like I just had passion for him and passion for what he was doing because it was all motivation, and he helped me understand like where this was going before it even took off. Like I knew where it was going, and it was just like I'm gonna do whatever I can for this good, just to make this go, and whatever I can do. So, but nah, it's like it's been so much change, and it's definitely been a roller coaster ride. Like the transition into here. Like I just recently, so he just asked me to be an event coordinator back in April
Yeah.
or March.
Which I think is a great spot for you because like he always is good at having a good time.
Always.
Yeah. So
Always.
it's like, why not have like
Jamie's
the
thing.
person that's the best for having a good time, plan the good times?
Yeah. So this
It's like it was perfect.
it's definitely has been. At first, I was nervous about it, no lie, because I didn't know what to expect. Even though I've been part of the brand for this long, like starting to show up to those Monday meetings, I was a little nervous. I was quiet. Like, I ain't like you guys had like this. I don't know. Like, it was this like business.
Yeah,
And
there's
I
no way
wasn't-
it goes around the room. Like
I
when
wasn't
we all
used to that
speak.
part
Yeah.
though, because it's always been modeling, showing up
Yeah,
for
you're just
shoots,
chilling.
always having a
Yeah, you're
good
just chilling.
time. And then when you come to the meetings, then like they talking about some serious,
Trying to get some shit done.
They trying to get some shit done, like some real shit. And I was like, I didn't know it was like that. And this was like back in April. This hasn't been long. So trying to adjust and kind of getting used to that aspect of it. Planning, which we're gonna talk about soon, the block party event.
Yeah.
Has been stressful because it's like, but at the same time, it's like fun because I'm actually meeting a lot of new people and understanding like how to build relationships with certain people to be able to deliver the cost that we're about to do that day.
So before we get to the block party, which is in just a few weeks, which is weird, but anyways, which will be 5 days after this drops. We just dropped the weekend. All of us shot in the weekend, in some extent, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
So what was everybody's kind of favorite? What was everybody's favorite piece that came out of the weekend in terms of apparel and content?
I'd say my favorite are the women's sweat shorts.
Okay.
Yep.
Freaking comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
They're cute. They
Yeah.
go with everything.
I
Yeah.
literally wear them every day now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like all I wear.
I can go to sleep in them.
The cut
I can
look.
go wear them out.
The cut
Mhm.
look too is clean.
Oh,
It's just
cute.
yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super cute.
Yeah, how it like
Very
rolls just a little bit.
Mhm.
Just
That's
looks
cool.
good. And I'd say my favorite, like shooting wise, it was McCall when we were on the docks because
Yeah.
it's just so freaking pretty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chandler
So
hated
that
the
was that-
snow in the mountains,
But you
I
lived
loved
here
it.
before, right? Did you ever
Yeah.
go to McCall before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I've been
Okay.
to McCall quite a few times, and
Okay.
I love it up there.
Yeah.
And like,
Okay.
no, it wasn't busy yet with like tourists and
I
stuff,
know.
so it was just it's really
Yeah.
enjoyable.
What about you?
This was a crazy shoot. Like I go back and try to think of all the shoots we've done, all the lunches. Like this is probably the biggest one.
I think
And
it was the biggest in terms of product, but it definitely
For
felt
sure.
even bigger than Icon, which was close in terms of products.
Mhm.
6 apart. I felt like it felt even more just because the colors changed so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And just the natural difference in colors made it seem more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot of variety with this, and
Yeah, I think it's fun.
I think people. I think from outsiders.
What'd you call that one picture? The M&Ms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the 4 guys in different color tees, and I was like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
M&Ms.
Different varieties. Like,
Yeah.
That's very like. I mean, that was like energetic. That was fun for everybody, especially for the models to be able to shoot like that. And then you got the outsiders'
Mm-hmm.
opinions, and it was all good. So I just thought it was like huge
Yeah.
for the brand.
What was your favorite, Mac?
Hmm.
The green?
No. I like the green fit.
Yeah. That's your favorite fit is
the
the
fit.
green?
Yeah.
The bra, shorts, and
Probably the shorts are my
Trucker?
favorite. I love the trucker hats because I have like a new love for trucker hats.
that's because they're so soft.
They're like the most.
Mhm. They're comfortable.
Yeah, they have
Very
like the
comfortable.
It's
like
soft.
a
So soft.
microfiber towel
Yeah.
for the band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
it's super soft.
They turned out really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine was the golf shoot.
Mm.
I mean, granted, I got to go play golf
Yeah.
and then get a photo shoot done. But it wasn't. I don't even like any of the pictures of me, to be honest. And that's not your fault. It's because I hate myself. We'll get to that in another subject. But it's the I don't know, like the organicness. Is that a word?
I think so. Yeah.
Sure. Organicness of the photo shoot. Like it's just a couple dudes having a good time. These are all things that we probably would wear to the course and then just enjoying like golf. So like our facial expressions like aren't like great for modeling purposes, but they're so what you would see playing golf.
We're on the
Which
week.
for those that, well, you understand now after
Yeah.
going to Top Golf last night.
Absolutely. Hey,
What was the meme you sent me today?
golf makes you. What was it?
Look it up.
I feel like that shoot was great too, especially because it's like a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
And it's really you guys just in your natural element.
Oh,
Yeah.
golf is nice, relaxing way to get really frustrated and super disappointed in yourself.
Yeah.
And that happened a lot yesterday.
Yeah. It's so
Lot.
true. And dude, the crazy thing too is, and I think if you watch, I know golf is very boring for a lot of people to watch, but if you watch it, you watch guys that are making millions of dollars a year do the same shit that you do. And you're like, you just think they probably just hit it down the middle all the time. No, they hit it 3 fucking houses to the left.
Very technical.
Yeah, and so it's like the same shit happens with pros, and so I feel like that makes the game like more relatable. But anyways, I thought the shoot was fucking cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This last weekend we went to Track Shark out in Emmett. It was pretty cool, especially like I'm a car guy. You know that. You know that. You're probably learning that.
I know it now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's like I've never been to something like that. It was something out of like I said it was like out of like the Fast and Furious movie. It was like Race Wars. But we had like drifting, there was static car display, there was vendors, there was a couple barbers, there was food trucks, there's burnout contests, sound competitions. Like there was shit going on all day, every day for 2 days. And one night ended in a concert and one night ended in a drive-in movie. I'd never been a part of any event like that, and nothing that like a tattooed brand could wiggle their way into.
Yeah.
What was your guys' thought on the event?
It's crazy because I went to one of the Track Shark events probably, God, I'd say 4 years ago now. And like, I was out there before they had even put the track and stuff out there. And like the meet relatively was like pretty small. Like, I mean, it was big. Still a lot of people came, but like there wasn't a track. There wasn't a place for them to do like burnouts and stuff like that. And then being able to go, especially with like TS and like have our tent up and see how much it's grown and be able to meet so many different people was so neat to me.
Yeah. You have some friends that have done car stuff or like videographers and people in your life that have been influential.
Yeah.
And you've watched, so you've been around car stuff, and you're not a car person per se,
No.
but you enjoy like being around like the
Yeah.
lifestyle to an extent because you like that type
Mhm.
of lifestyle. What was it like? You probably have like a little bit different perspective because you don't focus on the like details of the car, but you just like the environment. So
I think it just brings a cool group of people.
yeah, it's eclectic.
Everyone's just like pretty chill. Everyone's just there to have a good time.
I thought it was so weird to be like, there was like that's obviously was like the old part of the sawmill, and you could see the new part of the sawmill. I flew in on Saturday or Sunday, sorry, right? Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, I flew in over Emmett and over the car show and was able to see like really clearly like the new part of the mill and the old part of the mill. And it was interesting how they've just kind of just scooted back farther into their lot and are now basically renting out or leasing out that front part to now like a racetrack and car shows and et cetera.
Yeah. And the like concert part of it.
Yeah, and the concert part.
Huge,
Have
like
you-
what thing we were under, they like hold the concerts or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't
Have
know
you been to
that.
a concert
I didn't know
Cool.
that.
Yeah.
No, I hadn't been to concerts down there. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. That'd be
Apparently
really
that's been like
fun,
the
honestly.
new popular place for
Yeah.
smaller country
Mhm.
concerts.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
that's
one- it
cool.
would be
That's way
really
cooler
fun out
than the
there.
Fort Idaho Center.
Yeah.
I
Because I
agree.
hate going there.
Mm-mm.
That'd be cool for somewhere different.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be cool too once Emmett connects all the way to I-84.
Is that happening?
Yeah, so you know that new off ramp in between like Nampa and 10 Mile?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is going to
Oh.
go all the way through those farm fields, all the way to that new highway that goes all the way to Emmett.
Oh, damn.
The new
That's
one that goes
nice.
through Eagle over the river
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
That will connect Emmett all the way to I-84.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll
be
be
nice.
so nice.
It'll be so
okay.
nice. Yeah. So for future events out there,
Yeah.
I hope they do it next year. I really want to be a part of it.
I hope so. Driving a U-Haul.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was very fun.
Yeah.
But,
Bruh.
yeah,
Maybe we'll trade next year. It'll
Was
be
that a
different
rough
car
drive, guys?
for someone?
I left them all behind.
I mean,
I couldn't get homeboy to go over 55.
I couldn't go over 55 if I wanted
I've
to.
driven quite a few U-Hauls.
Going
I
up
mean,
that
you can get
hill.
them going pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, it was rolling. It was rolling. Don't get me wrong. It was rolling, but
I had to pull over it. He had to pull
He
over
pulled over
it,
and waited
and
for
we
it.
lost her.
I thought about it, but I was like, nah. I'm just gonna
Ricky
go.
Bobby over
yeah,
there was there.
no, she got lost in the.
I did.
I was literally.
I got there
weaving
first,
like
but I was
this.
lost. It's fine.
I was weaving like this on the highway, just waiting for him, like going as slow as I possibly could.
Yeah, I had like, I'm pretty sure I had like 30 cars behind me.
You did. I was telling him I got to where like he was on a low spot and I was going up, and I looked back and I was like, oh
It's
fuck.
just, I,
And so many of them went to the event, so we rolled in there with like
Oh man, that's awkward.
20 cars behind us, just probably fucking
Yeah, it's
furious. Like,
like-
fuck that booth.
like, yeah, I was pushing 60 and it
Yeah.
just wouldn't go.
I wanted to leave you, but I
I
felt
don't
bad.
know.
It was not good.
Crazy, yeah. We'll figure something out for that.
Yeah,
Next
you can
year.
drive the car. I'll drive the U-Haul. We're good. All right, so our next event is going to be the block party, which is in like 3 weeks, right?
Mhm.
It is crazy. I know you haven't been a part of one, or an event here at the warehouse. They are epic. They're
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Mhm.
They every time they're getting bigger. Every time we're able to make a different type of impact, and every time we're able to make a bigger impact.
Yeah.
This one we're gonna have. How many food vendors are we at now? 7 or 8?
We're at 7, 6 confirmed.
6 confirmed, 7 to 8 planned food vendors. We're over 20 business vendors, gonna hit 40 vendors for there. We're going to have 8 artists doing flash art. We're going to have a warehouse sale again. We're going to have vendors out front. We're going to do a cars and coffee car show in the morning. Yeah,
Games,
it just keeps
activities,
getting,
much.
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you to be a part of one because you haven't been a part of one.
I'm
Yeah.
really stoked to be a part of it. I think it's cool because you guys always bring so many different kind of like people together
Yeah.
and with like so many different like jobs that they do and like careers that they go towards. So
Yeah. So this one is going to 4 different charities. Last time we just did one charity. This time we're doing 4 different charities. So we got Laurel's Legacy, which is a group that creates funding for cancer families, for medical costs, for medical bills, for housing, whatever they need money for. We got the Veteran Entrepreneur Alliance, which is a veteran-run organization that helps create funding and business advice, schooling for veterans trying to get into the entrepreneurial space. We got the Idaho Food Bank, which obviously helps with food disbursement for Meals on Wheels, for the homeless shelter, for all sorts of different things. And then we have Foster and Heart, which is a foster organization that helps with keeping families together is kind of their niche, siblings so they don't get broken apart, but also just helps create funding and materials for foster kids from backpacks, food, transportation, housing, et cetera. And they have a large house-to-house families as well.
wow.
So last time we only had one charity, and that was CASA, which is court-appointed special advocates, which does kind of court advocacy for foster kids going through the system. But after that, they're kind of uninvolved. So this is cool to have a little bit bigger of spread of different kind of, like you said, different walks of life. So
Yeah.
you're going to have veterans, you're going to have cancer victim, or I call them cancer victim families.
Mhm.
You're going to have the veteran. So we're going to have veteran, foster, food bank, and cancer. So 4 kind of vastly different walks of life.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know this has been fun for you to plan.
Yeah, it has. And not only that, just being a part of, I've never been a part of something this big, giving back to the community. I come from a family where my parents, like, they're always giving back to my community where I'm from, but I've never been a part of something like this before. So it's been very fun. It's been a great learning experience. So I'm excited. So I'm like, yeah, it's been stressful, but at the same time, it's like I know it's bigger than me. So just being able to be a part of it is just a blessing. Like,
Yeah,
I can't
I
wait.
honestly feel like how it's been going, there's a short point where we won't be able to do them here. Like we're gonna have to
Yeah.
rent
'Cause they're
somewhere.
growing so
Yeah,
much,
we're gonna have
yeah.
to rent somewhere to
Absolutely.
do it because they're gonna be so big.
1,000 people, maybe
For sure.
1,500. Like,
Well, last time we were over 1,000 people.
yeah, I'm hoping we get to 15,
So,
maybe
I
2.
bet it'll be 15 to 2,000.
I hope so.
Yeah. And we're tattooing for 12 hours with 6 to 8 artists.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah. It was like 11 o'clock at night. We were watching UFC fights and like 6 of them were still tattooing. It was fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I actually came and did like a walkthrough on the last one that you guys did.
Okay.
And that line wrapped around the
Mhm.
Yeah.
entire building. for
Yeah,
the
it was
flash
wild.
tattoos. Yeah, it was
It was
crazy.
crazy. So yeah, we're gonna do that same type of thing again where we can schedule people so they don't actually have to wait in line until their appointment.
Oh,
and then
people
we
are
can
gonna love that.
Yeah, we did this last time, and so then we can just text them when they're up and,
Yeah.
and send them appointment reminders
Mhm.
and do all that stuff. So that'll be good to do again.
It's
That's
gonna be
really
crazy.
nice.
Dope.
We went from a kind of doing only clothes and content and all that type of stuff to doing these charity events.
Mhm.
And you've seen kind of that direct impact on what that can do for the community and what we were able to do for CASA in terms of writing that check and what that funding can impact, right?
Mhm.
Like they need $1,000 per kid a year.
Mhm.
We gave them like 22 or 23. So that's
Mhm.
23 kids that we were able to help them for an entire year. The next event's obviously going to be able to help a drastic amount of more people, especially the way we've required the businesses to make a donation in the form of a fee to be a part of this. Because I think that's the whole point is to create this revenue for these organizations. That's the point of us all getting together, and that's kind of been the point of the brand to a little bit more extent, is that we've really become trying to be this community center to help advocate for the things that we care about or that are near and dear to us, or whatever that reason is that we want to work towards it. And that's kind of the point of the gym as well. And so I think that kind of crossover in this building has been kind of cool. But you got to see the transition from being just like a t-shirt company with one dude sending it, taking the photos and posting it, to a community center. It's kind of been interesting. Care to reflect?
Just talk with your eyeballs, Matt. Yeah.
Can you read my mind instead?
I can't. I've tried for a couple years now. Unsuccessful every single
Yeah,
time.
you're right. It definitely has been interesting.
Do you care to elaborate on that?
I don't know. It's actually been crazy. It's just like I've seen you grow, the company grow, myself grow.
Oh, you said I grew.
Yeah.
That was nice. She said something nice.
It doesn't happen often.
You know.
Drink to that.
Why did they pick on me?
Well, I think you have a very cool perspective, because you obviously are as close to the brand as people can be, because
Yeah.
you and I talk all day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons I wanted you to be an assistant for me, is because you had such a good pulse or plug on the brand, because you went through a very good period of being a part of it. I originally shot photos with you, or Andrew originally shot photos with you, and then I switched to shooting photos with you. So you worked with a photographer, then more closely with me, and then different photographers, et cetera. And went through that whole thing and really watched the brand go from like a dude's idea in a car to a
like
business.
actually happening.
Yeah, to an actual business, and us like
Mhm.
having insurance and paying payroll, and, like, doing all the absolutely obnoxious things that come with going from being in someone's house to being a business, which, by the way, fucking sucks. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so shitty. It's literally it's the part that nobody talks about as like business owners, is that like when you get to the point from going from being a business to like a brand, or a like an idea and like a passion project, to being a brand. We all talk about, like, people talk about the highs and the success of it, and that's great and all, but there's the shitty part of like how much
There's some shit that you
like
don't
policies and
want to do.
procedures you have to follow as a
Like,
brand
yeah.
or as a company.
Mhm.
Just even little things like the permits we have to get to run this event
yeah.
here. It's just crazy.
The one that I had to go get.
Yeah,
for
we got to pay.
parking.
We have to pay the city for a permit to have our event here, even though they have no involvement, no help to us, nothing.
Mhm.
It's such a crazy thing. Like, as you grow, you just run into all these different intricacy problems that are just weird to think about and
Yeah.
weird to like work through. That I think you get insight into,
Mhm.
and have watched those
Oh, yeah.
things. Like, it went from like, where it's in my loft and we don't have even like
Yeah.
fucking inventory counts to
I'm counting all the inventory.
yeah, to counting all the inventory, because our tax reporting has to be absolutely correct, so we don't get
Mhm.
docked on too much shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it's been kind of an interesting perspective for you. That's why I asked you.
Okay. I mean, you just explained it all. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, but it's different for your insight.
Yeah.
That's why you get called upon.
I don't want to be called upon.
Yeah,
Your
that's
opinion
something.
matters.
It does.
It's been crazy.
You know what? You know what's crazy is?
Wild.
I remember her very first photo shoot.
You were there, yeah, at the Capitol.
Mhm.
You didn't say
Yep.
a motherfucking word.
No, she
See, I
did.
don't
the
speak,
whole-
right?
Yeah,
Not
She talks
one-
with her eyes.
Not
I
one.
do.
Not
It's
one
my
word.
face.
yeah,
One word. But
yeah. And I told her to get in the back of the car and change.
yeah, she's
Literally.
What's happening?
so nervous.
You showed up, and I was like,
I feel like I'm
here's this limo tinted excursion. You can go change in it. It's like
Go get
100
in my car.
It's
Like,
100
okay.
degrees
Mac's like,
outside. I did always park it like way away from the shoot, and I'd always give you guys the keys
Yeah,
and be
for
like,
sure.
"Hey, go change." And we would move to like a new spot and shoot,
Mhm.
and then you could go
Oh, yeah.
change and then walk back. And then usually by that point, then we would switch people. It actually was a really good system.
Oh, it was. It
and then
actually was.
and then the next person would go to the car and they'd go change, and then they'd walk back.
You remember what we shot? Do you remember?
I actually do.
It was the break the mold tops, cursive
I-
ones,
No,
or was it ink?
I think it was the ink at the
Ink?
Capitol, like ink tank, some of those things with the zipper and handles.
Yeah,
The bags.
the bags.
Yep, those
I
Say
ran
it.
across some
Nope.
pictures
So good.
the other day.
bags.
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 you say it weird?
Bigs.
Bags.
Oh,
Like bagels.
oh, you say BEG.
Yeah.
Bigs.
Yep. Milk. Bags. Is this going to be on every podcast where
Yeah.
we go through all the weird shit I say?
Yes.
Milk. Yeah.
Yes.
The stuff you drink. Milk.
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 Your tongue does this weird thing when you say it.
Milk.
too.
Milk.
I mean, I ain't mad.
Milk.
What?
I'm not mad at him. Like speech impediment. I
Yeah.
get it.
Hey.
I know
yeah.
how that feels.
Let's be nice.
Oh
I didn't
my
get that
God,
far.
It's 2 words you can't say right.
Haters.
So my
So
mom says naked
naked.
instead of naked. Naked. What is that?
I kind of like that.
It's like
Right?
3 letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the tattoos for the block party, I'm going to have some flash art drawn by foster kids that are at Foster and Heart.
Oh.
We're going to try to have some patriotic flag stuff for the veteran entrepreneur. And then we're going to have some of our logos. And then I'm going to have Sal that's been doing a lot of that popular hand and different trendy flash art that he's been posting. We're going to have a bunch of his sheet too.
Love it.
So I'll have those kind of 4 different demographics of flash art, should I say?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. So I think it'll be cool to see what comes out of that in terms of how many pieces we can get done. I know at the last event we had 6 artists trying to work around the clock with no breaks, and I think they got a little tired. And so I think this time we're going to try to do some rotation so they get some break and eat some food and enjoy the event.
Did you guys get a count on how many people were tattooed last time?
Oh, we did. I forgot it. Do you remember, Chan Chan? It was over 200, I think.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Insane.
crazy. The grand opening, we tattooed like 30 plus our logos on
Wow.
and some other things.
Yeah.
There's an individual that got the guy that did my left leg, all the Kobe portraits.
Yeah.
He signed his name on somebody's ass. A male. It was a
Yeah.
man.
Oh.
Well, if it was a girl, Jen would not have let that happen. So
I love
definitely
that.
a guy.
Good guy to tattoo somebody's butt cheek.
Yeah. He actually modeled for us too. So that's a whole other conversation. Block party, Track Shark, and then we haven't announced this yet, but we're gonna have our 1-year anniversary in October on a certain day.
Talking to Chen Chan, we probably gonna make that a 2-day event.
Yeah,
We're gonna make it big. October 13th, 14th,
14, 15.
or 13th is Friday the 13th, and October 14th.
Oh,
Saturday.
13, 14.
Yeah, you probably
Don't
gonna.
listen to me.
We thinking
What
about doing
event are we talking about?
We're gonna have a 1-year party grand opening
Oh,
to 1 year, you know,
on Friday the 13th.
and then into
That's
the 14th.
scary.
That's good.
So we're gonna have a 2-day party.
That's the day. You,
Weird things will happen.
hey, that's the day you should get your Wednesday tattoo.
It actually is.
No
You're
lie,
right.
on the 1-year anniversary, that is
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Friday 13th.
Cute. Okay.
When are you gonna get tattooed Mac Life? I think you should get a burger, like the Mac thing, and then
Oh my God.
Life.
That's funny.
I'll get it.
I'll get it.
We should all get the Mac Life.
Everyone's getting a Mac Life.
Or you could
tattoo
get it,
right
or you could
now.
get, yeah, you could get the Apple logo with Life written below.
Oh my God. No, it's gonna be like Apple Life.
Okay, then do like a MacBook. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it.
Okay, cool. You
She's
can make
gonna
it like
do
a kid's meal size.
She's gonna do it. That'd definitely be a kid's meal.
everywhere we go. I feel like you always get a kids
Obviously.
meal burger.
I do everywhere I go.
It's
a
adorable.
kid's
She
meal.
actually,
It's the perfect amount of food, you guys.
she
Everywhere
actually
I go.
ate. She actually ate adult food
She did eat a lot
right
tonight.
before
I
we
got
came here. She,
Chicken strips and ate all of
I
them.
feel like
and
she's
I
like our.
never do that.
You got
We're
chicky
talking about it like
strips?
she's our child.
Some chicky strips,
Yeah,
some chicky
you know what?
nuggies.
I
She ate
almost
so
got mini
well.
corn dogs from the kids menu, okay?
She's been eating so much better lately.
yeah, she ate a lot today.
Guys.
Chill out there, Mac.
Thanks. Can I go home now?
No. So we're going one event to the next. You've done 2 now. You're gonna do Track Shark and now the next one. You're doing Track Shark and the next one. You've done all of them. I've done all of them.
Mhm.
There's a lot of lead up into event,
Mhm.
right? There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of loading the stuff and plant and moving it around and communication and miscommunication and things forgotten and all sorts of shit that happens when you put an event on. And then it happens, and then it's like the next day, then you're just like, and we're done. And it's
Mhm.
almost, it's kind of hard to figure out your bearings after you do an event. I feel like
yeah.
every time we're always like, it's like an event hangover.
That's
I get home,
that's
I'm
good.
brain dead. I feel like I
Yeah.
can't move.
Yeah. So we have to quickly snap into like the block party. We kind of started to discuss it, but for me, I almost am on the next one, and you know this because I'm a psycho, but I'm almost on to the next one before we do the last one. So when I go to like when I went to Track Shot this weekend, I was just enjoying it.
Yeah.
And mostly thinking about like the block party.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like you guys are very like probably in it and trying to figure out like how you're going to navigate that day, et cetera.
Yeah.
So when you guys get done with it versus I get done with it, I feel like it's a very different perspective on what the next task is. So now having to think about the block party, what do you think excites you most about that that's different from the Track Shark or that's just going to be exciting about it in general? Care to share, Jamie?
Sure. I don't know. I'm more like.
Well, you're the one planning it to.
I've been more
to
excited about
most
the block
extent.
party. Like no shade towards the Track Shark, but like I was more excited about the block party way before I did the Track Shark. I wasn't really interested in the Track Shark, so it was fun. It was cool. It was my first time getting to see cars drift and stuff like that. So, but no, I was like the block party is just more my thing. And then the fact that like I'm very excited to see how it's going to turn out because like never been a part of something this big.
And I don't even know if you know this yet. I know you know this, but 2 weeks after the block party, we go to the Treasure Valley Tattoo Convention downtown.
Yeah, that's how.
Oh, we are going to that. My
Yeah.
family actually asked me about that.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
we'll be at that as well. So we'll have to snap. So
Super
we're going
excited.
basically 3 weeks between events
Yeah.
right now, and then we'll go 2 weeks between events on the next one.
And then we got one out.
And
Right
then
But
after
That's
that.
that's
one
not
after
until
that.
October.
Oh, there's
What?
when's their show?
Oh yeah, then we have the
It's
air
like,
show.
oh,
Shit.
oh
Then
my
we have
God,
the air
I
show the
forgot
week
about
after.
the
We
air
have a
show.
bet after event.
Oh damn!
I'm
No, you're right.
I'm actually excited about.
So we have the air show a week after.
We just don't stop this summer,
Sheesh.
Yeah.
actually.
I was for sure he didn't forget about the air show.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
he's
my
like
fault.
really excited about the
Yeah.
air
Yeah,
show.
that's my fault. My fault.
Yeah.
My dad would be pissed.
Oh man.
I think, yeah, I might get cut out of the will. He hasn't listened, so it's okay. We're good.
I mean,
You might.
You might. What if he listens to this one?
So the next launch,
Mhm.
you know what it is, right?
The T-shirt.
Nope.
Oh.
Girls.
Oh, yep, that
Yep,
one.
yep,
I forgot.
Yeah. That one.
I'm way ahead. I didn't want to spoil anything.
So the next one is
The women's, I don't know what you called it. Sorry,
intimates.
intimates.
So we got the matching bra and thong coming out for the girls next,
Mhm.
which is a very different item for us,
Very different.
right? So we're doing 2 back-to-back women's launches. After that, we have an accessory that we're gonna launch, and then after that, we're back to like apparel. So it's a little bit of a different period for us going back to back with women's launches, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's been
exciting.
something different.
Yeah. Very different.
Well, I felt
I'm
like it
really
was
excited.
almost Well, to be completely honest, like the underwear has been a big project that's taken way too long and been pushed back a million times. So it was originally a part of something different that kind of switched into this, and you've kind of watched that transform itself. But I think where we're at now and the finished product that we're going to have and being able to have it as a singular launch with its own product is going to be great for some really cool creatives and marketing.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Me too.
I think a lot of the girls will be really excited for it.
Yeah. And it looks clean. Like you
Mhm.
got to try on the
Cute, simple.
samples. Like, yeah, it's very simplistic. It goes
Mhm.
along with like what we've always produced in a general unisex male form, but it's a very simplistic thing for women that I think is going to be cool to be a part
yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the content that's going to come from it, like
Yeah.
you know, most of the plan for that, like
Mhm.
it's going to be different for us, but going to be really cool to present as a brand.
Definitely.
That's just honestly a new look for us. I think that's going to be good. I'm excited.
all the girls gonna want to shoot in it.
Mm-hmm. Everyone.
Chandler should have fun.
I think it'll be good shoots.
It will be flawless.
Careful.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to get you guys' perspective, just what it's like. You know, it's different to go into an office from like we've talked about a lot, going from a guy's idea or a friend's idea or whatever, and then being in an office. And I know you've watched that happen with working at Armstrong with Grattan and everything.
Oh man.
And obviously we are on a significantly smaller scale. But when we met, I was doing a very different lifestyle, and you've watched that kind of transform. And even when you and I met, I was still doing was I still doing landscaping?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I was done doing landscaping?
Mm-hmm.
Was I just doing like handyman shit all the time?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I was on Wood Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was doing like handyman shit all the time. So watching that kind of transform, and then being in the office and watching all of our roles kind of change, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like
Oh,
the
yeah.
dynamics of that. I'm sure that's interesting for you because you get to see me. You've seen me kind of just hang out as like a normal,
Yeah.
just a part of the gang, and then have to like also
Yeah.
be in charge of things, and then have to go over there and be in
Yep.
charge of things, and
Yeah.
you work with me over there, and so
Mhm.
you kind of get both
Everything.
sides. Yeah,
I
both
can-
sides of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So it's been different for each one of you, but kind of give like your perspective on being a part of a brand that also has like the gym associated with it, and also kind of has this, I don't know if it's humble beginnings, but like homey beginnings in a way, if that makes sense to you guys.
I definitely think, yeah, humble beginnings, homie beginnings, like working. First of all, after COVID, I sat at home on a computer for 2 years straight. I have to work and deal with anybody like directly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you
So,
guys all moved out.
yeah. And then before that, I mean, there was some women in my office, but like not a lot. So it was
Oh,
more
yeah,
of
you
a,
guys were all dudes.
it was more of a like masculine environment. So there was things that could be said, things that can be, that's not what you kind of like see in a normal workplace. So when I started being here more, having to like work with you girls and stuff, it's been like really like it's been a big change because I have to carry myself in a certain way that I'm used to.
It is interesting. We are like a male-owned company with more girls than guys, though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say because girls run the world or some shit like that.
I
Maybe we
mean,
could plug Beyonce. Maybe get an ad. Maybe get an ad.
She's probably thinking it at least.
At least tag her or try to.
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. That was my
I
response.
threw that
I mean,
up.
we do.
I lobbed that perfectly.
I'm sorry.
Jeez, Mac. You really let us down.
I'm sorry. Can I go home?
Let's start over.
Start over.
Just run it
please.
back.
Let's start over.
But no, there's obviously more girls than guys here, which
Yeah.
is different from you switched
There is,
completely.
yeah.
Yeah. it's different.
That's probably, I don't know. Do you guys like that? Is it nice for you guys? Or is it, would you rather see? Because I know there's girls that like to hang out with dudes more often because there's less drama usually associated.
I've always been
And
like a
then
girl that
there's-
hangs out with dudes, not girls.
Yeah, same.
I'm always
So
been
how
like
is
the
it then?
tomboy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Show.
The girls we have is cool. Like they're all cool and
Yeah.
they're all chill.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all kind of like that. None of us are like a girl's girl.
Yeah.
That's
really.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it kind of just happened because all the models that we would use, you and I all just kind of became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then naturally, it was just easier to hire people part time that are friends that were vested or interested. And then it turned out that like the smallest people I hired worked harder than everybody else, which happened to be girls.
Yeah.
And so it's like little homie used to be in the garage sweating her ass off, putting stuff away
Yeah.
all day, coming in, flexing and shit. And it's like, who's your warehouse manager? And it's like, this thing,
It's thing right there.
the
Me.
Mac.
It's,
She needs 3 ladders, but she's got it.
She runs the world.
Yeah.
I
Like
just
B.
need a stepping stool. Okay, that's it.
But it's
That's all I need.
interesting, I think, for most companies that typically it's the other way around, especially if like a dude started it. But it just happened because of like naturally when you have a apparel brand, you have more female models than you do male.
Yeah.
And then we all just became homies.
Mhm.
And so then it was just natural to hire most of you guys,
Yeah.
girls. So it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
Guys, girls.
It's definitely
same thing.
Definitely a big
You
change.
know what I meant.
But yeah.
But that's cool for you because you had a very different previous. So that was good,
Who?
Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Because you worked at Armstrong and it was
Oh,
mostly
yeah.
dudes.
No, I've seen a lot of change. It's crazy. Like been in like some hostile environments. And I've like it's crazy because
It does get hostile here sometimes.
yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah, it does. But not This is very mild compared to.
Well, it's interesting. Like, we have a lot of girls that work really. It's weird having girls versus guys. Like, obviously, with guys, you always have. I want to see what your guys' opinion is and if you agree or not, and then we can wrap things up. But in my opinion, girls have typically. This is on average. Feel free to check me but don't hit me. That girls have more drama and more things associated with work than guys typically would.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. But I have found, and this isn't on the most part because he works extremely hard and he works extremely hard. But girls are, for me, a lot easier to motivate to work hard than guys.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yes. I don't know.
It's been for me, like, and in weird areas, like you wouldn't typically think that we would have like only girls that have won the warehouse, but you guys are way more organized. You remember way more shit.
See, I don't see a guy doing that job.
Yeah.
But every other company, if you were to go look at a warehouse manager, it is not a girl.
It's
Yeah,
always a
that's
guy.
for sure.
But you guys are way more organized. You remember numbers way more accurately. 7 years ago at 3:49 p.m., you said
Facts.
X, Y,
That
and
is
Z.
true.
Respect.
You guys care about how something looks,
Guys.
how it's presented, and how it looks when you leave.
Yeah.
And so for a warehouse position, that's exactly what you need. And so that just worked to have girls in that. And that goes into the store too. You care about how it looks. You know what needs to look good. You know how it needs to hang to be presented the right way. Whereas-
Yo, what's crazy is, don't mean to interrupt you. This girl was sitting right there at that desk, and she noticed that one blind was an inch higher than the other.
He
Exactly.
was so amazed by that. He was
And I
like,
was
"How?"
like, how did you see that?
Get like an eye twitch
Like,
over
It
it.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
OCD.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it had to be even. She went and fixed it
why
right
this-
away.
that's why this
Even.
works.
Didn't hesitate. It was like, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And so like for those attention to detail jobs, which is a lot of what we do, it's really nice to have girls in there where most people would hire like a bigger dude that could lift heavy boxes.
Mhm.
Whereas I hired Mighty Mouse because she's organized, works hard, and cares what it looks like.
I mean, one day we're gonna need a forklift driver.
Oh wow, that's so accurate.
I hope we need a forklift driver someday. That'd
Just
be
get
cool.
me the forklift.
Let's go. Oh, she's
got it.
Hell
Guys got
no.
it.
I got it.
Hell no.
I don't know.
I'll let you tell
What?
We
no.
see you drive a
You're
car.
terrible at drive.
Why am I
She'll
getting
pull out
told
her
that I can't have a
collapsible
forklift
stool
right
and
now?
step up
You
on
can't
it. It's
drive.
fine.
You would drive the forklift and get lost in it.
You drive like
I can't drive.
you.
A forklift.
Oh, now you want to talk.
Because yeah, I can drive. I just drive fast.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking
You're just a
idiot on
defensive
the road.
driver.
a
Yeah.
little reckless.
That's what Carlos says about me. I
What?
say it's defensive driving.
It's defensive driving.
He doesn't drive defensively.
I
I
don't-
drove my brother to the
If
airport.
I need to get
and
over,
guess-
I'm gonna get over.
we
Did
show
he
up at the
throw
airport
up?
and this is what he says. He goes, "Wow."
She got
He's like, "I'm impressed. Your driving
Emmett-
is so like strategized."
Emmett
what
is
I'm
a
saying.
Emmett
Like,
is a
thank you.
40-minute drive. She got us back in 26 minutes to Meridian.
Thank you.
Makes road trips quick.
Like
I used to drive from here all the way to Broadway, and I'd make it home in 10 minutes.
Who was that? I just look down the whole time. I
That's what my
stay-
mom does.
I just stay on my phone when she picks me up. I'm
luckily we were having a good conversation in the way. So
Don't look.
it went
It's
by
a roller
so fast.
coaster in here.
yeah. I'm like, if I look up or down, it doesn't change whether I get there or not. So I might as well look down and
Do
not
it.
see it.
You think it's a statistic that women drive faster than men? You think that's a statistic?
I think girls just don't see curbs, but that's the only thing.
Well, they back up into them for sure.
No, they think they're bumpers because
I
they
mean,
can't bowl either.
I
so
don't
they
do
think they're
that.
bumper-
I don't do that either.
But
It happened once,
it's
and it took a chunk out of
Just
my
don't look
tire,
at
and
the
I
front
didn't
of
do it
my car,
again.
okay?
All it takes is once.
All right. Well, we got a lot of events coming up. This will air 5 days before the next block party. Any little thing for the block party? Any little plug you guys want to make?
No, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited for it.
I think it's
40
gonna be
plus
big.
vendors,
Mhm.
7+ food trucks, 8 tattoo artists, warehouse sale, cars and coffee in the morning,
Well, I'm excited
Live
because it's here
DJs.
too.
2 live DJs, free workouts at Empire Gym the whole day, open gym.
You know, and like you invite people over to your house and like you host dinner and you just kind of feel like prideful over it. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
they're coming to my house. I'm like,
Yeah.
you gonna make a nice dinner? That's how I feel about the people coming here. You know, like
Yeah.
you get
You
to
know-
see where everything's
You know
at.
what I'm most excited about?
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
This has nothing really to do with how I feel about the block party because I'm really excited about the block party. But I ain't gotta set up shit with Chandler. this vent. I can just kind of just chill, not have to deal with his micromanagement.
Oh,
Oh,
shout out to Chan Chan on the way out.
I love you, Chen Chen. Love you. Love
Well,
working with you.
anyways,
It's the Virgo in him.
what about you for the block party?
what?
What about you for the block party?
Oh, I don't know.
What are you most excited about? More artists, more vendors, more food.
Probably more food.
Me too.
The last time we had an event, I maybe got food at every
wish I
single
could-
truck.
Oh, that's my
throughout
plan.
the day.
I'm
I
already
wish I
planning
could
it.
shout out the
Like,
food
I need a
vendors.
bite of everything.
Can't do that though.
Not yet.
I can't
But-
wait though. It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be cool. I'm just excited because I think every time we host one of these, every time we're able to do something like this, our impact grows in the community.
Mhm.
That's the point of the brand. That's the point of the empire. That's the point of this building. So I think with the continuation of us being able to use this place as a spotlight for the community,
Mm.
I think that's the best part, and that's gonna be really, really cool
Well,
to be a
it's
part of.
crazy because not only do like we grow, you guys help other businesses grow too, which is
Oh yeah, that's the
which
point.
is insane.
That's the
And I
point.
love it.
That's the point. That's the point of Empire. That's the point of TNS.
Yeah,
Any opportunity we have to help people springboard onto their next avenue in life,
yeah.
that's a goal. That's the goal. That's the point. Our first photographer that we ever hired, you know this, Jason McAdam, he got to the reason we didn't work with him after a little while is because his business grew and he transitioned onto a bigger, brighter things. Now he's a huge real estate photographer, now videographer.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
People
Anytime we can associate with someone and help them
Yeah.
advocate for
Motive,
whatever
yeah.
they do, their cause, their work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
their sacrifice they're making in their life, that's the point of the
When
brand.
you're around good people like Zach, you just grow.
Yeah.
And you can go over there and talk to some of the trainers at Empire right now, and they probably done talked about it on some of the podcasts. Like they've grown.
Mhm.
Yeah,
as
that's the goal.
individuals.
Yeah,
And
I agree
that's
with that.
like
the goal is growth.
when you just around good people, you just gonna grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what we're able to do with this block party, on to all the rest of the events for the year. So everybody stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the upcoming women's intimate launches, as well as some other launches before the events we have coming up. So thank you guys for being on the podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. And block party, July 29th, all damn day.
Whoop, whoop.
If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart.
Thank you for listening to Break the Mold Conversations, the Office Pod, audio by Dusty Hamlin, Side Yard Media. Give us a follow at Tattoo and Successful Co. and stay tuned for that block party on July 29th.